Hey, it's Porsche day at the SR71 Blackbird. So, scored some pretty amazing parking because there was a car show here today and this place was completely packed. So I pulled up this close and parked here, and there was a whole row of cars parked here. But now the museum's closed and it's the end of the day and we're going home, but we're gonna have a look at this bird. And my goodness, she's 110 feet long, and it's basically like from about here all the way back are 6 fuel tanks. It's just 6 massive fuel tanks. Huge chines with camera systems in these outer bays down here. Electronic warfare going on. And I'm trying to figure out which nose this one has on it. The nose is removable, and it has the systems of what they were trying to do. I don't know if this one has anything in it. I don't think it's got the sensors in it. The blisters at the front are a sensor. I think those are the receivers, and the transmitters are those ones, those little things down there. And that's a threat sensor deal. And they listen for threats with those guys, and when they get one, the stuff they're transmitting out of those things right there makes whatever missile is on the ground, it makes it think that there's 50 of these things flying in the air. And that was the technology. That was what they did. That's how they never got shot down. They always had something that would make a Russian missile not hit this thing, not find it. This is one of the later model planes. This is one of the last ones. She's so beautiful. Massive engines, about 5 feet in diameter at the spike there. Spikes in the forward position. The whole spike goes forward and back. 26 inches. The first of the exit doors. So beautiful. Titanium, made of titanium. And the wing has so much to it. It's got this little dipsy doodle at the end here. It's just so beautiful. And very, very simple flight controls on this thing. There's no flaps. Just no flaps. Massive vertical stabilizers. There's a little gust lock at the back. They've locked it in neutral central position. And how about the size of these engines at the back here? That's pretty near 6 feet across. Pretty nice from this angle. That is a really big plane, I gotta say. You really see all the air it just rides on. That whole fuselage just rides on the air. She rides with her nose a little bit high and basically surfs along like a big boat. You can see from this angle, you can actually see that the engines are pointed into the ground when she's on the ground. They don't line up with the chine of the fuselage. In flight, it's the chine of the fuselage that sits up in the air, and this thing, it surfs along on its body, and the jets run perfectly straight with the sky, with the relative airflow. And all the way around the aircraft, they came up with this idea to do it like this, and it was a mixture of well, they called it composite. It was basically fiberglass resin, and the material inside it was asbestos to deal with the heat. And this aircraft would probably be fairly toxic to manufacture today, but back then they made 50 of them, and it was their way of dealing with reducing their radar profile while dealing with the heat of this aircraft. And here, do you see the lines where the jet engine is not lined up with the chines? Can you see that? She surfs along her body. This one's had a bath recently. Paint's in pretty good shape. There's wifey over there waiting for me. She's always waiting. We took her car down here. It's fast. That's her little car sitting over there. Great car for highway ride. Down to Atwater, California. Oh, she's quite nice from this angle too, isn't she? Big droopy wing. These things got up to something like 140,000 pounds when they fueled them up all the way. Somebody put their initials in her. So they use a Tinneman washer on each one. And I think these sections here are supposed to be composite, and those sections are supposed to be titanium. I don't know what this is. And the landing gear was a challenge for her, making tires that wouldn't blow up. The back of the fuselage is really quite amazing. It's got some round head rivets inside, or the elevons. I guess we call those elevons. Kind of a delta wing aircraft is what it really is. But they actually have, the whole tail section is removable by all those screws. And the very last, if you actually do that, these are the where the fuel dumps come out of. But if you actually do that, if you open this little compartment right there, they have a very complex, the whole back of the airplane here is where the flight controls come to here, and it has to get interpreted, because you go like this and those have to go down and those have to go up. But if you pull back on the stick, everything has to go up at the same, all these have to travel up at the same time. So there's a whole giant mechanism in here that makes this go all the different ways. And it's serviced from this little hatch right there. And we've had a good look at that at the McMinnville Museum, where they opened it up for us. Let's have a good look in there. This thing is so beautiful.